Hello, I am Trevor Rolls and you are watching Resource Review, and today we're going to review the book The Price of Panic: How the Tyranny of Experts Has Turned a Pandemic into a Catastrophe. This book is available in hardcover, an audiobook, and on Kindle for $28.99, $16, and $12.99. I got mine on sale for $21 on Amazon.com. This is a 256-page book put out by Regnery Publishing, released on October 13th, 2020, so it is brand new still basically, and it is number 4 currently in the category of economic policy and development, and number 12 in the category of viral diseases. The title and the subtitle of the book basically give you the argument that the book is trying to make. The Price of Panic: How the Tyranny of Experts Turned a Pandemic into a Catastrophe. They ask the question and answer, what is the price of the panic? And they explain to you how the tyranny of experts turned this pandemic into a catastrophe. This is obviously a controversial position that the authors are taking. And to that point, you might ask, what gives them the authority to take this position? And I think that if we look at what the subtitle is saying, what is tyranny? Well, cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power, or rule by one who has absolute power without legal right. And this is what the authors are arguing for. But again, what gives them the right to argue for this? Well, let's look at the authors. Douglas Axe is a Caltech trained biologist with postdoctoral research as a scientist at Cambridge University, professor of molecular biology, director of the Biologic Institute, author of the book Undeniable: How Biology Confirms Our Intuitions That Life is Designed. William M. Briggs, Cornell University Phd in statistics, was a cryptologist in the Air Force, studies philosophy of science, particularly in its misuse and overreach, has a master's in atmospheric physics, bachelor's in meteorology and math, author of Uncertainty: The Soul of Modeling, Probability, and Statistics. And finally, J.W. Richards, Princeton-trained PhD in philosophy and theology, master's divinity, and bachelor's in political science. He is assistant research professor of business and economics, senior fellow at the Discovery Institute Center on Wealth, Poverty, and Morality, co-author of The Privileged Planet with astrophysicist Guillermo Gonzalez, and author of several other notable works, including Money, Greed, and God. So these gentlemen themselves are professionals in their fields, particularly fields that have been explored and exploited during the whole COVID episode. So getting into the review, the book itself reads like a biography about the COVID-19 saga, if you will. And one of the key points that makes it such a great read is that because all of what is discussed just happened to all of us, it's also very personal, very familiar. It's not just COVID's story, it's my story, and it is your story as well. Now, one of the things that makes the book controversial is that the authors do not really follow the conventional COVID narrative. Actually, they aim to show how the accepted mainstream cover story has many holes and many flaws in it. And they do this by tapping into their own expertise. Each individual author brings something of their own professional training, background, and knowledge to the table of the discussion. And without giving away too much of the content as spoiler, I would say the main thesis of the book is a cost-to-benefit analysis of the COVID lockdowns to argue for very careful consideration before letting such a thing happen again. Now, for obvious reasons, some will love this book and others will hate it, but to the credit of the authors, they go out of their way to stay neutral regarding political stances and affiliations, and they go out of their way to make sure that it is known that they are not COVID deniers and they do not endorse wild conspiracy theories. Now, at the base of it all, these men, one a practicing scientist, one a statistician with a scientific background, and one an analytic philosopher with a scientific background, they aim to draw back the curtain for the general public on what people in their situations might consider trade secrets, so that we, the average consumer of information, can, to put it in ways that we all might be able to understand, know exactly what's inside the big hot dog that we all just ate, so that we can make an informed decision before consuming another one. So this was a wonderful work. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only critique I would offer, and I will, to be fair, I will offer a critique. They put a lot of work into explaining why models have problems, how models work, how statistics work, and why and how they can be twisted around to suit the purpose of the storyteller. And frankly, with some of the training on the undergraduate level in statistics that I have, studying psychology, which uses a lot of statistics, is the very true reality that statistics can be skewed and swayed and presented in such a way to favor the position that the storyteller wants them to favor. It's very easy to do. So they go out of their way to do this. This is a plus. But the critique that I would offer mainly is that the authors then use their own statistics, their own models to show, to argue for the problems that the pandemic, the lockdown specifically, may have caused, and we may see into the future the ultimate price, which far outweighs the toll that the pandemic itself took. So there's that. Other than that, though, I still love the book. I think it was awesome. It's very professionally done. It's well crafted. It's not sloppy. It's not thrown together. It's not sophomoric in any way. And whether or not you agree with the position of the authors, I would say one has to acknowledge that they presented their position in such a way that warrants, it justifiably warrants being taken seriously. So, amazing book, The Price of Panic. Go out and get one today, Amazon.com. It's still on sale for $21. Go, do yourself a favor, get one, you're gonna love it.